What's up? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the Short Porch presented by Barstool Sports. I'm your host, Hubs. On the other side of the laptop, Tommy Smokes, Tom Scabelli, Marty Mush, TJ, and the ones and twos. Folks, these are the episodes that I get excited for. Gerrit Cole starts like that. I'll watch those strikeouts religiously, repeatedly until the next game, and probably much more after that. But that start was incredible. I had a blast watching that. I couldn't imagine how much fun it was at Yankee Stadium to see it. Gerrit Cole's just awesome.
That's the type of start you dreamed about when they signed Gerrit Cole.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is going to sound weird. Like, obviously you dream about playoff starts, World Series starts, but I was just also excited for starts like that where he just bullies a bad team. Like that's what I was like in 2019 with the Astros, where we just have 15 strikeouts, 8 shutout innings. Like, I feel like we didn't really have one of those last year where he was like as dominant as he was.
I would say the Indians start in the playoffs.
Yeah. But last night, like, that was probably his best line as a Yankee, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was Gerrit, and like that was Gerrit.
That's what we signed up for. And yeah, it was like, it's one of those where he's so good, and like we have an automatic win usually, like when he pitches. So it's so nice. Like, you could just flip through channels and you come back and the Yankees are up already. Like, that's why, like, that's what I want. And you're right, Tommy. You do dream about the playoffs, but I love that. Like, the Orioles suck. And I want
to watch that all day.
I want the Orioles to look like, hey, wait, we really do suck. We can't touch him.
That team swept the Red Sox.
Yeah. Like, I loved having people be like, it's just the Orioles. That team was 3-0 and in first place coming into this series. They now have 2 losses because they played the New York Yankees. So just want to tell you some facts here. And then in the baseball's so upside down. The Red Sox have won the first 2 games against the Rays. So it's like, what's going on here? But yeah, that start was incredible. He had it he had a little bit of trouble in the first. I think gives up the single up the middle, which is hit pretty hard. Then a wild pitch. And then the moment the wild pitch happens, he just completely locks in. Jay Bruce makes a great play. Great play at home. Nice pick. Good throw. Higashioka on the tag was a little delayed there. I was like, what's going on here? You can tag him or what? He almost beat it out. And then after that, it was smooth sailing. 13 punch outs. Tied for the most he's had in pinstripes. The most he's had in pinstripes in the regular season. Tied with the Indian start. 13 strikeouts. No walks is always great. Just 4 hits, 4 random hits, no runs, obviously. He was fantastic. And he had all 4 pitches going. And the 101 fastball strikeout was my favorite. I think that's everyone's favorite. The strut he has after he, like, the moment he even, like, lifts his leg to deliver the pitch, he's thinking about the strut because he's like, everything's going to work here. Like, this guy's no chance. 101 fastball right by him. The hitter had no chance to make contact. He's just hoping it's a ball. And it's just such a power K strut. We talked about with Clark Schmidt. I love strikeout struts, and you kind of saw a lot of that with Houston in the year he should have won the Cy Young. I don't think you saw a lot of it last year. One, because maybe he wasn't totally comfortable in Yankee Stadium and in pinstripes to like feel confident doing that. And 2, I feel like that's a big crowd pleaser. That, like, if there's no fans, like, don't really have the energy to do that. But when you pump 101 past somebody and there's fans and the Yankee Stadium roar, despite just 10% fans, loud, like, you could feel it on strikeouts. That was a power strut, and that was my favorite one. But I think the most important thing this year, and it's scary, but he's getting better, Gerrit Cole, despite, he's 30 years old or whatever in the second year in New York. He's using his changeup more, and he's using it way more effectively than last year and in years past. And that's a problem for opposing hitters. If Gerrit Cole's getting better, that's an issue for a lot of people. And he's still going to have the slider, obviously, and the spike knuckle curve, but he had all 4 pitches going in pinpoint control, and the Orioles had no fucking chance. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the thought of Gerrit Cole getting better really never crossed my mind when they signed him. I wasn't like, oh, he'll get to New York and he'll be better. It was like, as long as he's as good, or even he could be a little bit worse, and like that would still be fine. If he's just going to be even better than he ever was, like, he's going to win 30 games.
And also the thing is, like, usually with him is he is a slow starter. Like, in that crazy Astro season, April was, I think he had a 4-year ERA up until like the second start of May. And now, I mean, yeah, sure. You can say the first start of the year was a little shaky by his standards. We said like, oh yeah, he didn't pitch great, but he still was really good. Like the stat line was there and he should have easily had the win if they just scored runs on opening day. But last night, I mean, like you didn't see a start like that, like you said, all year. No. And then now we're getting to the second start of April. And I want to make this point of how stupid Carabas is and his inbred army of is idiots. And they're just like, oh, because MLB's cracking down on spin rate and Gerrit Cole doesn't use his supposed pine tar in his hands that made him this Cy Young guy. Oh, yeah, we're going to get Pirates Gerrit Cole and he can't pitch anymore. Do you think Gerrit Cole can't pitch without pine tar? Like, I mean, what if you actually had that in your thought? Like, oh, the Yankees signed the bad one here. You're a fucking idiot.
For you to someone to come up with that is someone that's just like trying to find something wrong. But fuck Carlos, because I told you, I'll say it again, he's the Rex Chapman of baseball because every little thing is. I mean, I can't take the highlights anymore. But the thing with Gerrit Cole's a psychopath because you could tell like he's so sick of hearing that he was like just like okay last year and like. He doesn't want like he wants to be the best pitcher in New York and like DeGrom's going to be like he doesn't want that. Like he just wants to be number one and just be dominant. I feel like after yesterday, he's just going to be more of a psychopath and just dominate everybody.
Yeah, and I feel like especially I doubt Gerrit Cole thought about this, but it was nice that like the day before Cole's start, the Mets pulled DeGrom after 77 pitches and blew the game with their bullpen.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to show you how to use an ace. We're going to show you like what he should be doing and pitching deep in the games.
I don't have the exact stat, but it's something like over the past, I guess it's maybe 3 or so years, Jacob DeGrom's ERA is like 2.07 and the Mets are 36-41 in his starts. It's something like that. They have a sub 500 record in starts by a guy with an ERA of 2.
Get him out of Queens. Just run him out of there. He doesn't deserve that.